years old. And so he is older than me, but not by very much. Anyway, this is my joke that gotta put his glasses on. My love is decades of bitter days. A group of 45-year-old girlfriends discussed where they should go to dinner. They agreed to meet at the Ocean View restaurant because the waiters there were attractive. So keeping in mind now, they're just 40 years old. They can still do things like that. But 10 years later, at 50 years old, the group once again discussed where they should go for dinner. They agreed to go to the Ocean View restaurant because the food and wine were good there. 10 years later, at 60, the group once again discussed where they should go for dinner. They agreed to meet at the Ocean View restaurant because they could eat in peace and enjoy a beautiful view of the sea. It's over. 10 years later, at 70, the group once again discussed where they should meet for dinner. They agreed to go to the Ocean View restaurant because it was wheelchair accessible and had an elevator. And 10 years later, at 80 years old, the group once again discussed where they should meet for dinner. Finally, they agreed that they could go to the Ocean View restaurant because they had never been there before. All over together. Years. Anyway, the name Dulac, and I always thought that when I was in high school that Dulac, it was just a funny sounding name. Who would pick Dulac for a name? And I don't have any idea that what nationality that was. I just knew that it's going to be great for making, you know, nickname joke like there's goes Dulac or something like that. So it was funny looking, but I found out later on that it was a French word, and it meant out of the lake. So I looked around trying to find out what would be great about Dulac. Well, I found out that Sir Lancelot was a Dulac. Sir Lancelot Dulac. He didn't exist, but I didn't care because he Anyway, I found out also that the name, with my grandfather, they signed it with a little L, D-U-L-A-C. Well, I found out that we really use it as D-U, capital L-A-C. And I always thought, you know, Dulac was going to be a unique name. But I had the opportunity when I was working to go to France, and Dulac over there is like Smith here. So, Smith's here, I understand. Where are they? Hold their hand up. Well, what I'd like to do real quickly is just to give you the genealogy real quickly of the Dulacs in Omega, Kansas. The root of this was started with John Baptiste Dulac, and he was born in France. And he immigrated to the United States in the 1850s and became a citizen in 1871. He worked for the Union Army in the Civil War. And he also had a brother named Xavier, and they used to meet up in New Orleans to go to the New Orleans port. And they meet up and somehow communicate that they're going to meet there. Well, what happened was Xavier's boat got stalled somewhere. And so they did meet up in New Orleans, and Baptiste had to go back to Omega. Well, Victor found out where that was, and so he got a horse. He rode a horse for 3 days going into the Onega, Kansas area, and you understand that he spent several days in the hospital trying to get over the bow-legged thing he ended up with that horse. Okay. John Baptiste, a great one. He did run a freight business at Atchison, Kansas. Atchison to Santa Fe. And after several trips, he sold it out because he got a lot of turtle time by Indians. But he must have made quite a bit of money because he sold out and he ended up being rich and wealthy. You know, he moved to Omega. So as it turned out, they were big pillars in Omega because a lot of it was just to do the things they owned. They had the first automobile in Omega. It was 1915, 16 something car. And they had several buildings in Omega. And they built the theater building in 1905. And it's, if you're ever in the Omega area, which it probably won't be, but if you look at that building, it's still got a headstone on the top. It's got a B, Dulac, with a little L. 1905. You can tell also that the French love the name Baptist, but I think everybody had Baptist in their name. Baptist, John Baptist Dulac. They named the son was just Baptist Victor Dulac. And so that's what we're going to talk about a little bit, because that is my grandfather. You translate that to what the relationship is to me, to be great grandfather or great great. Anyway, they were members of the St. Vincent de Paul Catholic Church, you know, and so they had a lot of things to give to the church. And when they built the church in 1948, they had no place to say mass. So Glenn and Howard and my dad and uncle, they loaned the theater to them on Sundays so they could have mass. And so the Dulac kids had to get the the theater ready for mass the next day. And so that was one of our donations that helped build the St. Vincent de Paul as we know it today. The theater itself was not a theater in the beginning. It was a furniture store. It had musical instruments. It sold musical instruments. And then about 1940, they converted that store into the theater. And theater also later on ended up having a dance hall. It was called the Yellow Lantern. And that was Omega's version of American bandstand, because it was a hot spot on Omega on Saturday night. And so, you know, the thing too, like on Saturday Night Live, and that's where that show on TV got their name. They stole it from Omega because Saturday Night Live in Omega was something to behold. So my grandfather was Baptist. My grandmother, she was an Esther Becker. So I found out too that, you know, I wasn't just French. I had French, German, English, and part Pickaboo Indian. I won't tell you where that come from. I'm an Indian. But the living conditions that we had for Dulac kids from our community was that they lived right next to each other. So it's like having two sets of parents, because a lot of people little brothers and sisters, but actually they were double cousins. And naturally was that we had a lot of schools on our idea we did, that was got a lot of it. A lot of classes too, but J.C. Higgins, so 10 classes of color. We're not long through those, because we got our buses class seminary, the seminary. When I got a spanking, he got a spanking, because at one time they called us like matches in the chicken coop. So we both got spanked. I mean, it was something that one or the other got hit. But when the owner was my parents, they had some people don't know, but Darlene, me, Mary Allen, Charles, Greg and Beth was the one group. Uncle Howard, Lyle, Dorothy, Ann, and Elaine. You might notice also back in those days we used both two names, so it was Mary Allen, Dorothy Ann, and that's just the way things were. That's kind of my story, but there's a lot more to tell. And one of them that I was told I should tell was that we, as kids, we never got any pay for anything. The most money that we ever made from them was like $1 a night when I went to projectors for the movie. But the deal we had with all of our cousins and siblings was that if we found anybody in the theater, that we would split it up and pass it around so everybody got the same amount. And that worked pretty good in the beginning. But one of the group, one of the girls, she said she would tell the real version of what really happened. Mary Alice. Come here. Now this is the real version, and I remember also that she's been known to kind of stretch facts.
Can you hear me? He's alive. He lied. First story, he said, I found 25 cents. Well, I didn't find 25 cents. It was a nickel. And I went in, I told everybody I found a nickel. Okay, I went over to the sandwich shop and I bought a bag of peanuts and I was going to take it back and share with everybody. And I put the bag of peanuts, I opened up and put it in my hand and I said, here, have some peanuts. And Lyle said, it's wormy. And I said, no it is. And I looked down and my hand was full of worms. And so I threw it out on the floor.
The truth of the matter is, nickel didn't make any difference. It's just that she got that candy bar with a pack of peanuts on it. And she acted like she didn't eat anything. So she had said she shared it, but she ate it first. She wouldn't have thrown up. Next thing, Morris was the owner of the sandwich shop, and she made us clean up the mess. Anyway, just one statement. I've come to appreciate. Appreciate my Dulac name and the sacrifices our ancestors made, especially for caring for the Catholic faith to America. So I hope to carry on that tradition. Thank you for listening.
One big favor though, before everybody disperses. I would like every family unit, so if you're a part of the Charles Dulac family. I would like all of you to go down. Let's have the Charles Dulac family. We'll just go in order here. How about the Frida Darling Dulac Thompson family? Who's here? Come on. There we go. All right. That's not very loud. Okay. All right, so where are we going? I want everybody to go back where the Dulac family reunion sign is, and I did put a date on it because we'll use it again when we do this again, and I hope we do it again, like every 3 years, we're gonna take a little vote about when we should do it, because I don't know when the last one was, but it's been a very long time, and I want to